everyone. We will go ahead and get started, and I am Mary Mills, and today I'm going to be reviewing and discussing sponsor quality management, specifically risk-based risk management requirements and approaches for compliance that relate to ICH GCP E6, the addendum, also known as R2. Let me just give you guys a little bit of information about me. It's come to my attention that I know some of you that are on this call today, and I have been around for a while. Don't count on your fingers how old I am by looking at these numbers up here, but I've been in healthcare for 35 years, and 30 years of that I've been doing clinical research. I started out as a study coordinator and just kind of worked my way through different job functions, and that includes being a CRA, and I absolutely love CRA work. I've audited. I teach a good bit, and I more recently have done a lot of risk-based quality management work. I worked on a trial where we employed the risk-based quality management approach and really utilized risk-based monitoring before we really knew too much about this addendum, and that trial ended up turning out quite well, and we were very, very happy with the quality of that trial, and even got comments from some of the regulators about it. So anyway, that's kind of enough about me. In a minute, I'm going to ask you a little bit about you. So today, we are going to be talking about, as I said, risk-based quality management approaches. We are specifically going to spend a lot of time on Section 5 of the addendum and talk about the end-to-end process and talk a little bit about some suggestions for successful implementation of this. This is a view from about 25,000 feet. So as a result, we're not going to be able to get into a ton of details about it, but we're going to give you a good enough overview that you should be able to get really started, if you have not, with your gap analysis and making sure that you've got everything covered. Our objectives for today are to describe just two of the new requirements for sponsor quality management of clinical trials. We're going to talk about more than two, actually. Identify two approaches to achieve compliance with quality management approaches for the life cycle of the trial. And that's something I really want to point out, that this is an end-to-end process, that it's not just something that we implement in the monitoring portion or the data management. We start right up front with program development and clinical trial development, protocol development, and we work it into the quality management approaches that we have within our organizations. And then, we'll give some ideas for next steps for evaluation and implementation of the new requirements. So for now, if you would just type into the chat what your function is or what department you work in, or if there's a group of you, if you just want to kind of put it all together, like, let me know kind of the type of attendees that we have so that I can just know a little bit about you all as an audience. And you can just type that right in the chat. Okay, I'm not sure if anyone else is going to type to me, but feel free to do that. So we have a bit of a variety here. We have clinical operations. We have a CRA, yay. We have project management. We have all different kinds of people, data management, compliance, and then we have a group that it looks like has been in risk-based monitoring for years. It has somewhat of a similar background to me, maybe with the exception of data management. But anyway, it's a very exciting group. So the first thing I want to just kind of introduce you to are the drivers for this addendum change. And there were several of them, but really the basic drivers were discussed as being a lack of trust of the ICH GCP statements that we were putting in our submissions and that were coming from the audits of our data. The regulators felt like that there was a lack of transparency and that we were not clearly defining quality and what our quality steps were throughout the life cycle of the trial. And they talked and talked and talked about quality by design, not just by chance, being proactive as opposed to being reactive once a problem happened, and just really planning up front.